Hey guys, how's it going? Hey Twinkle, good to see you. I'm still working on lab and path, but I'm on the last like 4 pages back here in the back. This is page 707 right now. I'm working on just highlighting what's in the parentheses. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, Medical Coding by Jen, Scorpio. Go to that website, medicalcodingbyjen.com. I did open it up last night to some more tutoring hours. I have some people I've got to make up for that I missed during vacation or other things. I came back from vacation just a little ill, so blood pressure's kind of high, which is really weird for me. My mom doesn't have high blood pressure. Nobody really does. I mean, my dad did, but I didn't attribute that to me ever. So that was weird. But I'm always anxious, especially when I go on vacation. You know how that is. But I'm having a little trouble getting it to go down even now that I'm home. So I don't know. The deal is there. So I may have to cut back a little bit on the tutoring. We'll see. But I did open it up for just Mondays. No, just Tuesdays and Thursdays. So it is open right now. medicalcodingbyjen.com. There's links in my TikTok bio too. If you just click on my little bubble up here with my face and the boys, it'll take you to a link tree in my bio, and everything's in there. But also you can type in medicalcodingbyjen.com and get right there to it. You just go to booking. I'm also going to do a Sunday workshop for $10 for everybody on June 17th. No, 19th. Is that the 19th? Yeah. So I just need to know what y'all want it done on. Hey Momo. Hey Tammy. My twinkle, twinkle, twinkle. I miss seeing everybody. Hey Jillian. Vacation was fun. We just stayed at a little Airbnb in Vegas. I did take Mom to go see Beatles Love, the show. I've never seen it. I think that was her like third time seeing it. So I say I took her, but I guess she took me. I took Travis too. He loved it because there's a part in the show where they cover up the crowd and you become part of the show, this big tenty thing, which was kind of fun, of course. We went to the Pawn Shop, whatever that is, with Chumley and whoever. I don't know all their names, but my mom wanted to go there, and I got her a piece of, what's that Jurassic Park stuff? Amber? Just a necklace with some amber in it. So that was cool. That's it. We only did one thing one day and one thing the other day, and the rest of the time was just hanging out at the Airbnb, swimming and eating. I did go to the doctor twice, got the blood pressure checked, and it was bad. 160 over 100 both times, but no known cause. Feeling fine otherwise, just heart is just bumping hard. So I went today to primary, just got some hydrochlorothiazide, trying to be really invasive right away just to see if we can't get it down. And adjust with diet and some water pills and see if I can't get it down that way before I start real meds. We'll see. He's like, reduce your stress. I'm like, I'm not stressed. I'm stressed I'm not with my students right now. And I left them high and dry for a week, but it shouldn't cause my blood pressure to be that high. Jeez, Pete. Had fun. My oldest son is 30 years old, and he has a best friend he's had since he was 12, 13 years old. And I call him a son too. His name's Gabriel. So he came down from Oregon and spent the week with us. So I had my 2 older boys, and then I had the 2 baby boys, Travis and James, which you all guys know. And they invited 2 friends that they've been best friends with. So they had Vincent. He's a funny character. He's a friend of James's. And Travis brought a friend. And so we all had, it's like the cycle going over again, where my oldest son has had a best friend since junior high, and now Travis and James are in junior high, and they've had best friends since 3rd grade. So we brought them along too. So I had a house full of testosterone, and they were all on their best behavior. It was a lot less stressful because they had the volleyball court to play in, and then they had the swimming pool, and they could just, since it was a private pool with the home, they just run out there and go swimming. The boys have had swimming lessons since forever. I've always done every summer swimming lessons because I used to be a lifeguard, so many, many moons ago. So I made sure that they know all about swimming precautions and no running and no flipping, but they did so well. And if I could just get the blood pressure under control, we'd be all right. Hey, Lisa, I've been seeing you chatting all in our Discord group, asking questions and getting help. I love it. Love seeing your engagement. I hope you learn lots with us, and I'm so glad you get to catch a live. Don't forget that I do repost these on my YouTube. So Medical Coding by Jen on YouTube is also available. If you miss a live, you can always go watch the replays there. Hey, Go-Kart. Hey, McGiggles. Yeah, I'm doing one. Somebody's already bought it. I don't know how I got it posted, but I haven't even put any info on it. But yes, we're going to do a workshop on the 19th for sure. Already got somebody signed up for it, even though I don't have any info on what I'm doing. I know we'll do E&M. You miss hearing about Mom and the boys. I know it was a long old week. Let's see. I've been, nursing this thing forever and trying to stay calm. Got to have this at heart level, which my desk is at heart level because it's a standing desk. I got to get more exercise in too. Oh, error. I'm moving around too much. Let's not move. Let's see. There we go. But it's hard to stop and do one thing at a time. I'm a multitasker. Oh, gosh. Okay, I gotta quit highlighting. That ain't gonna work. Or maybe stop talking, but I never stop talking. Maybe I need to have it tighter. No, I must not have it tight. I just took it right before I went live. Did you make water?
We need to drink water.
What?
Have you seen how many jugs are in the freaking laundry room? Jugs of water.
There you go. See, my bottom number is just a little high, and then, well, they're both high, yeah. And then my pulse is just too high. And then my oldest son that I was just talking about, John, look at, he just dropped down on my desk while I was getting my blood pressure taken. A whole gallon of water. That's the biggest cup I've ever seen. Holy crap. I mean, like, I've got big hands, but geez, Pete, that's at least, I don't know how many ounces of water. So I got the whole family pitching in, trying to get my blood pressure under control. But geez, Pete, no. Yeah, and that's with 1.5 pills of hydrochlorothiazide on board. Oh. So yeah, I gotta reduce some stuff, I guess. I don't know. I just need to get more active. I don't know. If y'all got any tricks for lowering your diastolic, let me know. I know potassium is good for it, so I'm on my second banana for today. And I heard Ganza, whatever beans are good. So I made some soup with some of that in it. Oh, the soup's got a lot of sodium in it. I know I need to get rid of sodium. But I like soup. But I know y'all are tired of hearing about me. Let's see, I am on page 709. Yep, I'm on YouTube. Tons of stuff for you to look at on YouTube, Walker. You test, Heather, on June 18th. Oh, I bet you are nervous. Don't worry. Everybody's nervous. Just don't let it get the best of you. Think of it as a game almost. Like, you know they're putting in words. You know they're going to be trying to trick you. Just take me on your shoulder. Listen to everything that I've said. Repeat in your head. Don't start out with the questions. Go straight to the answers. Look at your answers. Look at the codes. Look up the code descriptors. Don't just turn to the page and get there. Go see what's the difference between these two codes. What would be the one-word difference between those two codes that would make a difference in the question? Then you just search for that one-word difference with a graft, without a graft, with fluoroscope, without fluoroscope, anterior end versus something else, an allograft versus an autograft. What's your one-word difference? That's going to be the difference between those two codes. That's all you got to look for in the question. Then only skim for that one-word difference. Don't read the question from beginning to end because it's going to be full of propaganda, stuff that you don't need, and stuff that is meant to confuse or direct you into the wrong answer. If you stick to your guns and don't read the questions and just search from the bottom up, that's great. Now, sometimes the difference is just a patient's age. You know, some of those hearts or catheterizations are 5 years and younger or 5 years and older. So all you got to do is go look for the patient's age, which is usually the first part of the question. You know, you got a 56-year-old with blah, blah, blah. Just skim over the top of the question and pick that age and move on. That's all you got to do. If you've went through 3 CPT codes and you haven't seen any words matching, you know it's going to be your 4th. You can just pick your 4th CPT code. You don't have to go look up it and see that it does match 100%. If you actually do not have anything matching in those 3 codes, and you know it's going to be your 4th, then just pick your 4th and move on. A lot of times you only need the first word. You don't need all this stuff in the descriptor. If it's a removal, an insertion, a replacement, those are all very first words in some of the CPT codes. That's all you need. You don't need to read the whole CPT code descriptor. Saves you some time. Also keeps you from getting confused. If there's just a battery replacement, that kind of thing, you just need to know that that's just a pulse generator and you're going to remove it and that's it. If you don't know an anatomy word and you don't have an idea of where it would be in the body system, you can look in the back of the CPT book. We do have an index in the very back, and you can look up some word that you might not know if it's urinary or reproductive system. So you can find a CPT code related to it, go to that CPT code, and figure out from there if you're urinary or if it's reproductive. Working up the anatomy pictures ahead of time that are the headers of each section is super helpful. All you got to do is Google function after the name of the picture, and that will give you a huge benefit, like urinary system, and then Google function, and then type in or write in the functions of each little organ, or draw in stuff that they don't have drawn in. That's what I do for the anatomy. For the CPT codes, what I'm doing here is I'm highlighting anything that might have a parentheses, because I find more and more that the words that are in the parentheses are the ones that they're using on the CPC exam questions. So I highlight these. There's a lot of it in the back of this medicines or lab and path section right here. I don't highlight what comes after the semicolon or whatever, but I do it differently what's inside the parentheses in some of the other instructors or whatever, but that's okay. I entered in a contest today on AAPC's website. So if you're on their Facebook page and you see my Facebook entry, y'all could like and comment on it. Maybe I'll win. If I do, I'll give out all those prizes to you guys. So they got some hats and hoodies and things they're giving away, which are pretty cool. I know I did a TikTok recently about the price of the books and then the annual renewal for the Twinkle. She sent me a heart in time. I did renew my annual membership and bought the books, but I did wait a week, which helped because they have that promotion right now where they'll give you the free PDF versions of the books. So that was cool. I saved like $100. Where is that TikTok? It was like, no. Oh yeah, that one right there. That price. It went down to $498 instead, where I was just renewing just the annual membership and then getting new books for next year so that I could update the notes. So this week was good. I've never gotten them that cheap before. Every year it's about $585 just to renew my membership and buy new books. But I'm buying print books and I like the PDF too, so I buy both. So y'all don't have to do that once y'all pass your certification exam. You don't have to buy the books, but you do have to keep up with your membership dues, which is $190 right now a year. I bet next year it'll go up to $200 probably. But I've never seen them go down on that price. But this year they claim they're going to give away a free course next week, which even if it's a course you don't plan on taking the certification for, every chapter will have bare basics. What is an ICD-10 code? What is a CPT code? What's a basic anesthesia code? It'll go through every section hit picks, and there'll be some, every chapter will have bare basics, like CPC exam questions, practice exam questions. If they do give a free course away, go on and sign up for it and take the chapter quizzes. Don't watch the lectures or nothing. Just go straight to the quizzes and try taking those. It doesn't matter if you pass or fail the course, it's free. And then you can have extra practice taking some practice exam questions. And they'll be a little different depending on everybody's version that they get. They'll have several versions of that course that they'll give out. So I recommend just getting it and just saving all the exam questions, if nothing else, because that will help you guys just to practice. So I'm just about done with lab and path notes. Worked away on that even while on vacation. I do mark the do nots in red if they're in the parentheticals. I mark the do's when it says to use a code with another code in blue. If it's a add-on code that can be timed, I make sure you know that. Some of them can't be, but it's very few and far between. But if it says each, that means you can times it. We don't times the other codes that don't have a plus sign on front of them. I make notes based off the practice exam questions. If this was an answer to one of the questions and it had a list of a disease or something that went along with it, I write it next to the code. I add in any information from the questions that are helpful for that. I also fix all the out-of-code sequences by putting a page number of where the code is located, because there's nothing more frustrating than getting down to lab and path and you're almost done with the exam and you're tired by this point because you've been there 3 hours. In the last hour, you can't find any of the answers that they have on the question, on the exam, because they're all out of sequence. So if they're not on this page, it's very frustrating to have to go look for a range of where they're at. Yes, Travis, James, whoever, what do you want?
Grandma got me something.
What did she get you? You can't have it.
Me?
Yeah, you can't have it.
I'm not going to even...
We've had this fight. I'm not debating with the committee. You're not even responsible to pick up your own underwear. You're not going to clean the room. No. No. That is not going to get you a knife. No. Grandma got him a pocket knife. You ain't going to browbeat that woman into that knife. My mom just gave one of the boys a pocket knife. Travis is lighting fires in his own house. There's no way they're going to get a pocket knife too. Nope. 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 Okay, let's check my blood pressure now.
This was for Sammy. Grandma got the kitty's little things. That one's for Sammy. And I don't know which one do you think would look good with magpie clothes. So. The blue one's for Sammy.
Ooh.
I think the red one would look great with magpie.
We got little cat bells for the cats. Oh boy. Think happy thoughts. Think happy thoughts. Now I gotta find that damn pocket knife and steal it away from the kid. Okay, no talking. Who said no talking? Hey, Jen. Hey, Tot. Hey, Walker. Maybe Doc needs to add a beta blocker. I know, I'm trying to avoid a beta blocker, Walker. Ugh. Are you going for 2 hours? Just 2, Twinkle. Just 2. I'm not going to push it. I got to do some tutoring. 2. I missed MK this morning and Miss Edwards. I got to do her in the morning. And I think I have somebody else. I have somebody new. Sheen, I got to do tomorrow too. So I got to prep for all that. Yay, Heather. Thank you so much for saying. That's awesome for you to say. That's awesome. She said that I've been a good help, a great help, better than her AAPC class I took. I keep debating whether or not to become an AAPC instructor. I'm a guest instructor. I teach for other instructors. But if I become an instructor, there's this $3,000 yearly thing you got to pay for to be an instructor. I already have to pay AMA money for showing off the codes in the book, a franchise fee in the thousands for this. So it add another $3,000 or $4,000 to that to become an instructor for a year. I don't know. I bought the 2023 books already. I did. They won't ship till December 31st, but I buy at this time every year because they usually have a sale. And also it's the time that I get back tax return money. So when I get tax return money, I just automatically set aside some of that to buy my yearly books for you guys so I can update the notes. And then my yearly membership so that it's taken care of with that money, I guess. Yeah. It's just a habit I've gotten into. I'm not certified yet, so I'm sure I will pass this time before I renew. That's awesome. I'm sure you will pass too. Hey, Sanchez, how's it going? We've been doing tutoring too. What certification would you recommend after you pass CPC? CRC. It's only one book. It's the ICD-10 book, and it's for risk adjustment. All the medical groups are turning towards risk adjusting their populations, and having those two certificates will increase your value to the company for sure. Which free one should I choose in your opinion? Any free one. Next week or the week after, I forget, every Wednesday or something, they're doing something with AAPC. So if they give away a free course, then great. We never know what they're going to do. One year they gave away 3 full courses all alone without any restrictions, which was great. But ever since then, it's been a free course if you buy something else. So as long as there's no strings attached, sign up for the free course, whatever it is. But if there are strings attached where you have to buy something, don't do it. Like my books, when I bought them, if I bought the paper books, I got the free PDFs with them, which is fine. I really just need the paper ones. But it did reduce the price down $100 for me, but it was not really free. It was just buy this and I'll give you this free. So watch the fine print. Logan, you take your exam this Saturday. You're so nervous. Don't be nervous. Remember what I've said. Watch my lives. There's a bunch of repeats on YouTube. I just posted the one from the Friday before I went on vacation. I forgot to do it before I went, so it's up there now. And just look for, do the process of elimination, go straight to the answers first, then look for coding irregularities, look for coding similarities, pick out a couple of codes that you think are super similar, go to those, look at your one-word differences, and then just skim your questions for the one-word difference that will make a difference. And avoid reading the questions as much as possible, and you'll be able to pass that exam. Just you really have to monitor yourself and not get back into the habit of reading the question from beginning to end and then go into the answers. You're going to have brain fatigue. By the time you hit 50 questions, your brain is going to be filled with 56-year-old who has this, that, and the other thing, whose Aunt Sally also had breast cancer, who comes in today for this, that, and the other. There's so much words that you're going to have floating around in your brain. You're going to have brain fatigue. But if you can answer those questions by only carrying 1 or 2 words with you from one question to the next, you'll be a lot better off. I don't know. They're going to make you take a CPCI instructor course, but they don't list how much the course is. You have to apply to even be considered to take the course. As far as I can tell, they don't tell you how much the course is, but I know how much the franchise fee is, and that's about $3,200 a year to have access to all their practice questions and their course material. I don't care nothing about making a course out of their course material, but I could be on a list of approved AAPC instructors, which would be nice. I guess I could just get on their mentor program, which I'm not there yet, but I don't know. I don't think I really need anything, but it would be nice. I don't know. Hey, Sanchez. I will take care of myself. Yeah, don't buy the courses. No, 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 no. You can do this on your own. You just need to go to, if you go to my website, Medical Coding by Jen, and you go to where it says CPT Book Prep, see if I have it up here on my laptop. I have a list of how I'm prepping my CPT books, all for free. And I have a list of all of the, signing in right now, all of the one-word guideline things that I have set up. So, yeah, let's just go to medicalcodingbyjen.com, and then you hover over where it says CPT Book Prep, and it takes you to this page. You can click on any picture here, and it'll tell you what I'm doing. Like, this is the thing that's where I fix all the out-of-code sequencing and why I do it and what's going on. But I have a ton of pictures of exactly what I'm doing to my book. Y'all can do it all by yourself without having to buy my notes if you don't want to. If you're pressed for time and you need some notes, you could get like 1 or 2 sections. You'll figure out what I've been doing and then be able to prep the rest of your sections for you yourself. But I go through this with every single one of the pictures, why I'm doing it, what I'm doing, and how I fix the anatomy, what I did for ICD-10, and moving the guidelines to the codes and the examples. And then these are the one-sheeter guideline tips that I have, like for sepsis and stuff. Just go to each code, write those examples down next to the codes. Super helpful, but it's all free there for you too. So, and don't forget to join the Discord group, which y'all get way better service there, because if you download the Discord app and then you join my group, which the link is also here on the website, you go to just the social media links, and once you download that app and set up your own account, just click on this Join Now right there with Discord. There's 1,000 other coding students in there. You just click on that and you'll get right in. And you can tell when I'm going live because Twinkle or somebody's going to announce it. You also have access to all of our rooms here, like the CPC practice exam room, where I post questions. Other people post questions. Today I posted this one where we had a list of all of our office visits, and then you had to match them up with which ones were they. And we had good discussion on what was the difference between admission and inpatient. Just all kinds of help there. I even help with what to expect on exam day, E&M support, ICD-10. They're all separated out. Even do some other certificates, practice rooms help, job resources, CEUs for continuing education. Just if you've never used Discord, go down to the very last room down here, Discord tips. There's a video in there about how to navigate Discord, and you can get around there. It's mostly used for like gamers and stuff, but yes, I'm behind on messages, so y'all don't hate. I'm just, oh my gosh, running around like crazy as usual. But our main chat room is right there, and we share lots of information. We even have an off-topic room too down here where you can talk about the way you slice sandwiches. Happy Mother's Day, Happy Coder's Day, whatever's going on in life. Ooh, look at that. I shared some notes. This is back from 2018. I used the back cover to write in some notes. It was just for myself. I wasn't writing for anybody to read or try to make sense of, but yeah. Anyway, lots of information in our Discord if you want to do some real practice and get some study buddies going and see all of our practice questions and get all your answers to any questions answered without having to wait on me. I'm only one person. I do have 10,000 followers on TikTok now. Yay. I'm trying to get up the viewer thing so that people view enough of my TikToks to become part of the creator fund, which would be helpful because that money can in turn go towards free tutoring for people. And then also the on Discord, in our Discord group, we've got 1,000 people in there now. So that is super helpful. You got lots of people that can help find the answer. And if it's something super important, one of the moderators can hunt me down and ask me to fill in that y'all can't figure out the answer. But hey, Cassie, how's it going? Hey, Famed. Hey, Lisa. You're really good way you teach, and you are calm too. Well, teachers should be calm. I can't imagine trying to teach this material and be upset or something. I don't know. I've never been through a coding course with an instructor like you guys have. I remember taking one in college in 1990 something. It was a medical for nursing coding course. It wasn't to this particular, but you know, nurses need to know how to code our own stuff, or do super bills is what we used to do back then. But I can't imagine, oh my gosh, what y'all have been through sometimes with some of the instructors. I've been just shocked at some of the comments coming back from some of the instructors being really hard on people. It's pretty sad. I'm having some PTSD from that. Hey, Logan. Hi, Lisa. Fame. Hey, Cassie. Island Girl. E&M, I do. I have tons on E&M. I even had a workshop on E&M. I had 2 of them recently, and those were fantastic. It was just like 60 questions for 3 hours back to back. Practice exam questions, not a lot of fluff. Taught some guidelines that were related to the questions as they came up, but 60 questions and 75 on one of them and 60 on the other one was a good pace. We do workshops on Sundays. Walker, the website design is a work in progress. I'm trying to figure out how to group the items for sale in the store and make them like drop-down menus, and I ended up deleting one store and creating another one. So it's a hassle, but it's needed, I guess. So I'm trying. Just one person though. I really need to outsource some of that stuff, but I don't even know where to begin to even do any of that stuff. So I'm trying. Thank you that the website was nice. Hey, Dawn. Oh, don't be behind. Dawn, I was gone a week too. So if you were gone 2 weeks, you're only 1 week behind. You're good. You're all right. Hey, Janelle. Good to see you. Michelle, my Belle. I'm still got Beatles songs in my head from seeing Beatles in Vegas. That was so much fun. You test next Saturday. Any advice on time management? I ran out of time last time. Yeah, don't read the questions. Go straight to the answers. Look for coding similarities. Look for coding irregularities. Go look at the codes that are left over in your possible answers after you've done that. Look up the CPT code descriptor. Find your one-word differences between those two codes. And just do a word search through the question to find out which answer is most likely it. Sometimes, a lot of times, you don't even need to look at the question because the codes will tell you the answers, because the parentheticals will say don't use this code with that code, don't use this modifier, or this already includes radiology or fluoroscope, so you don't need to add that to it. It eliminates a lot of the answers. And then you're left with one remaining set of answers that it can only be, and you don't even have to read the question. So a lot of that is don't read. That's the best time management you can have, for sure. Liza says, yesterday was the first time I've watched your TikTok, and I learned the process of elimination from that video and do 5 minutes a day to answer some practice questions. Perfect. Absolutely. Looking for those similarities helps too. I'll show you some tonight, Island Girl. I got some practice questions up. Hey, Teresa. We need more E&M. Yes, yes, we do. Always need E&M. Hey, Sammy. All right. So this one that I did tonight in our chat room, I know this is probably hard for you guys to see, but let me see here. E, C, D, E, F, H. All right. So if we were working on this, and you were doing this from home, I mean, there's a lot of things we can pick out really quickly. I always like to think about the newborn care because I was a peds nurse for a long time, so peds is my favorite. So I would skim through some of these, and I see one down here that says infant care, and that has to be the only one for newborn care. So that one is the G, right? Yeah, I can move that out of the way. So this one is G. So I know right away this one is going to be, we can get rid of it. We can give it a white because we're done with that one, right? Do y'all see any other answers y'all can do right away that we can get rid of pretty quickly? So, advice or an opinion, that stands out to me. Where do you guys think that is? From one physician to another? That's got to be a consult, right? So let's see, we got consult up here. So advice or opinion, yep, let's pick C right there, and let's get rid of that one. Get it out of the way. Yeah. So let's see, what else can we get out of the way? You didn't win, Tammy? I'm sorry. So somebody that has not been seen in the last 3 years, I see that twice here. I see that twice, and I know we've got a new patient who could be involved in that. We only have one that is new patient. So we got to figure out if B or E is our new patient, because we know our golden number is always 3 years when we have a new patient. So I would start with these. Who has not received professional services from the exact same specialty, blah, 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 from the last 3 years. That sounds good. One who's received professional services, the exact same place, same group within the last 3 years. So this one, who has, so this one's established, right? And then this one will be our new patient, right? Do y'all see that? So B could be 7, right? I think. Yeah. And then our established patient is going to be E, right? So now I can get rid of B and E. Now we're down to 4. Yay. All right. So, face-to-face encounter in an office between a physician and a patient. That seems pretty easy. Yeah. 2 is A. I agree with you, Liz. Yeah. Let's put A there, and then we can get rid of that one too. Perfect. Oh, did I put it in the wrong one? I did put it in the wrong one. It goes here, not admission. There we go. Admission is a whole nother kettle of fish. That's going to be our rough one, right? Our admission and inpatient and outpatient facilities are the roughest ones. These you really have to think about. These are the rough ones. One who has been formally admitted into an acute care hospital. One who has not been formally admitted to a healthcare facility. And then attention, it says attention to an acute illness or injury that results in a hospitalization. Hospitalization and admitted are the same thing. So those two I'm thinking that are my admission or inpatient. My outpatient facility might be that other weird one. The one who has not been formally admitted to a healthcare facility, that's what I'm thinking my outpatient facility is. What do you guys think about that?
Bored.
You're so bored. Would you like to do coding with me, baby?
No.
Go get your 3-wheelie scooters out of the back end of the truck. Wash the wheels and charge them. You want to go do that? Okay. So H, I think, is outpatient. I think. Okay. So now we got to think about which one's admit and which one is inpatient. Attention to an acute illness or injury as a result of hospitalization. Attention. So weird, the wording. Inpatient is F. Attention. You know, when you get seen, so F is admission and D is our inpatient. So the formally admitted, formally is your inpatient, but getting attention, you know, when everybody's rushing around you and taking care of you because you've fallen and broke your leg and they're coming in and doing the pedal pulses and this, that, and the other thing, attention is going to go with our F, which is really, really rough to think about. It's harder to think about, but you can think about knowing that formally admitted is your inpatient. That's your inpatient. If it's a formal, you know, you're going to be billed. It's formally admitted. You're just not under observation. Because this technically admission could be admission to observation, admission to inpatient. It could be something. It doesn't necessarily mean inpatient. Now, formally admitted to a healthcare facility, that's inpatient. That is inpatient. So this admission, you got to think about it. They could be admitted to just observation. You're getting attention for your asthma flare-up and you're getting your breathing treatments and they want you to hang out there for a while until they let you go. Does that make sense? It's rough. I'm trying to think of ways that y'all can associate and make more sense. Just formally is definitely going to be your inpatient. Yep. And then your attention for an acute illness like asthma or a fractured leg, that's going to be your admission, whether it's observation or inpatient. Yeah. So anyway, I hope that helps. Maybe that'll help thinking about this and seeing it written out like that. I've got it screenshotted and printable for you in our Discord groups too. So, yep. That's a rough one. That's a rough one. Let's look at our live for tonight. Let me get our practice questions up for tonight. And we can work on those. Oh, these are so good. I was doing tutoring with someone, and some of these questions came up, and they were so good, I thought, oh, I have to share them during the live. Let me get my phone to... There you go. Oops. So we're going to do some psychiatric stuff right now. So let's go to our medicine section. So if I was looking at this practice exam question and it was one from my exam, what I would notice right away is that I have two with the same answer. So when that happens, I run to that code. I need to see if I can add this code or that code. If there's any rules here that involve any of these codes that could tell me straight from the CPT book what the answer is. So 908. Nine oh 834. I'm slow. So we've got psychotherapy for 45 minutes, and there's no parentheticals. There's nothing on here that says we can't use or can use. So I'm going to go to my secondary codes. Because 47 is in one of my throwaways, and I call this a throwaway because it's not the same answer as C and D, and it's not close enough. I call it a throwaway. But 47 is also in one of the two that I'm keeping. It points to that D is the answer. just because it's one of those things that I notice out of these practice questions, that they tend to have a trend. Not always. When it does happen, it's like winning the lotto. It just seems to point me into the direction that 47 is the right answer. But I am going to go look up my differences real quick of the 46 and the 47, which are 46 is family, psychotherapy without the patient present, and then 47 is with the patient present. It has this word in the CPT code descriptor that says conjoint. That means together. I put that definition there. Let me check on my kids. They're making a lot of racket. What are you doing? All right, Travis has disappeared. I sent James to go look for him. All right. So let's look at our question real quick. What do you guys think the answer is? This family is present. What I did was I searched and I saw that family was present, and I liked 47 also. But the last sentence, it says without the patient present. Huh? What's he doing back there?
He's like over there.
Where? Well, tell him to come around here where people can see him. What are you doing? Oh, he's throwing that chain around. Without the patient present. So there was no patient present. Yeah. So make sure it was pointing towards me picking the 47 because it was in one of my throwaways, which I love to see that happen. And then I just picked one of the things that makes the difference, was that the family was there. But I forgot to pick that these CPT codes, you got to look for two things. The family's present was in both codes. That wasn't what I was supposed to look for, because it's in both codes. What I was supposed to look for was is the patient was there or not. But I got influenced in thinking that it was going to be the 47. So, yeah, don't let them trick you. The family was in both codes. What we needed to look for was to see if the patient was present. So C is your answer. Yep, I got tricked on that one too. I did. That's why I wanted to bring it and show you guys, because I was all influenced. They're learning my little ways of looking for something that was in one of their throwaways. So just be careful. The one word difference out of both those codes is the only difference was with the patient was present, and then the other one was without the patient. That's it. And that's all we should have looked for. The family being there should not have influenced us one bit. So, yeah, there's usually just one word. So make your notes on those two codes and know that C is your answer. They're always, always, always. Yep. All right, I got one more psychotherapy one. So we are, which two codes would we keep and which two would we throw away? God, I'm trying to drink this gallon of water my son brought me, but whew, it's a lot of water. Which two would we keep and which two would we throw away? Good job, GT and Tot and Tammy. Yes, I agree. If y'all are taking your exam in person, you can draw this out just like I'm drawing it right here. Y'all have pencils, and you can erase it if you end up wanting to go back and look at those later if nothing's matching up. But you can draw on these. And then if you are taking your exam in person, I want you to write one little word differences about each of these codes. 46, 846, we know that that one is no patient, right? No patient. So right beside it, that way you don't have to go back to the CPT book and look at the CPT codes when you start skimming your question. If you go to 49, our differences is multiple families. Multi. So either like what the difference would be here is like the family gathers together to talk about Joey, and that's what the doctor charges for. This right here would be more like a the counselor comes into the school to talk about a sudden death of a patient, of a colleague or a teacher or another student. It's more of a group, multiple families are involved kind of thing. So let's see what our question's about. So we do just have to skim that question, and we do see the word multiple families. And we know right away, again, C is our answer. That's it. I wouldn't read anything else. It'd just be skimming. Yep. Perfect. Good job, Sammy. PJ, good to see you. Hey, Jill. All right. Diagnosis codes. This one got me and my mentee too. So this one was cool. This one was crazy, crazy cool. I can't wait for y'all to see it. So obviously we're dealing with HIV, right? Or positive HIV with no symptoms, or HIV with symptoms ever in their life. We do have a symptom diagnosis, or we have like a history of or something. I don't know what Z20 is, but I know these two are C and D are our main HIV things that are going on. So here's your question. What do you guys think is the answer for this one? Thank you, Twinkle. The during this doctor visit, was the weird part that I didn't I didn't understand or attribute to the correct diagnosis. I always thought that once you have HIV and you're positive, if you've ever had a symptom of any sort at any time in your life, you're coded this for the rest of your life no matter what. And then if you've never ever had a symptom in your entire life, but you're positive, you would be this way. But it's interesting. That's contact and exposure to human HIV. Thank you. Peachy's right. Yep. So we got people floating around with C, and I saw a couple of D's. So let's go to the ICD-10 book, 1286. 1286. 1286. 1286. 1286. It's the page number if you're in the 2022 book. And so they're pointing to asymptomatic HIV status and the guideline there. So we are going to be C with this answer. Optimum's version is 1236. You didn't want to ride your little scooties around? How come? You've been asking for them. Huh? Huh? No scooties? Why do you always get bored when I go live? You don't know? Why don't you watch some TV? You want to draw some? So I thought this one was very interesting, and I thought how quickly you could think it was B because the way they're saying it, and that they just say that there's no symptoms during this visit, but I thought it meant that it has to be any visits at all. They've never had a symptom. But very interesting wording. You'll know now that if they say anything about not experiencing any symptoms at all, that they're going to want that Z code. All right. I got a wordy one here. If a procedure or service is performed and includes a special report from a performing physician, what does that mean? This is really interesting question. I thought they were asking about interpretation and, you know, just a normal interpretation report on like a radiology report or something. So it could mean there's a usual and customary, that it is rare and unusual, that it requires multiple modifiers, that's probably unlikely, requires moderate sedation, probably unlikely, So would it be usual and customary to include a special report, or is it rare and unusual? I haven't told you what page number yet, Sanchez. I'm trying to make y'all figure it out on your own. So, y'all are smart. Very good. If y'all go to page 77 of your CPT book, if you're in the 2022 one, you're in the anesthesia guidelines, actually. Because they don't even give you that information. Are we talking radiology? Are we talking, where are we talking? That would be so helpful to know. What are they saying? What body parts are we dealing with? All they tell us is it's a special report. And if you look at this guideline on page 77 of our CPT book, we have special report listed here, and it does say it's rare, unusual, right there. That's the only thing they were asking about, although they didn't tell us we were in anesthesia, which would have been helpful to tell you where we're at. Hey CMR, thank y'all for the shares. I got 3 shares and how much likes? 2,400 likes. Thank y'all so much for all the tappy taps on the screen.
Is it okay if I can play binoculars?
So I got another wordy question for you. If another intravascular ultrasound is done at the same time as an endovascular repair of the descending thoracic aorta, how should it be billed? So, are we going to consider that part of the repair? It's an ultrasound, so I know a lot of fluoroscopes are included in a lot of procedures, but ultrasounds sometimes aren't. It's just my common knowledge. Should be reported separately. Can be billed with a modifier 59 or cannot be billed together. Where would you find that info if you needed it? So endovascular repair. So we got to go through cardiology and find your endovascular repair part of the CPT book. You'll have a header with that listed. Thank you, Sanchez. She says, B, I am on, there we go, 273. I've got endovascular repair right here and some guidelines. If we do go down to the very last paragraph of our guidelines, it does talk about an intravascular ultrasound right here. And what it says in the guideline, it says an endovascular repair of the descending thoracic aorta should be additionally reported. I don't like that wording, and it's not the wording they have in the CPC exam question. Should be additionally reported. What the heck does that mean? Well, apparently it means report separately. So I wrote that down right here in the guidelines next to it. Should be additionally reported. Well, how do we additionally report it? Do we add a modifier to it? Do we just code it with it? Do we code it separately? It doesn't give you much clarity in that wording, I don't think. It's page 273 of the 2022 book. So it ought to be around 68-ish, 7, somewhere around there. It's right after or around that big picture of the heart. Does that make sense to you guys? Should be additionally reported. Does that give you clarity, or am I just crazy? I don't know. So their answer that they wanted for that question said to report it separately. So I just added that there. It can be, Walker. I'm like, why can't you just say report it separately, or how do I report it? Should be additionally reported. Well, yeah, I know I got to report it. I did the procedure. I know it's something I got to code. That's not in question, but how? How do I report it? Do I add the modifier? Do I do anything like any of these suggest? So B is your answer for this one. Should be reported separately. We would not use the modifier, and we don't do that. Yep. It can be very frustrating as an auditor. I keep looking. I look for additional auditing tools for that subsection. I'll contact our member rep for whatever health plan it is that I'm auditing for or with, and ask for their version of the guidelines. Also ask for explanations and audit tools from their side. What are y'all using to audit with? And I can find clarity in those areas a lot of times too. So, and it switches every time you figure it out. They decide to change it, change the rules. Anatomy, quick anatomy, rapid fire stuff. Which one of these is a subsequent infection of a chronic abscessing? So this is where looking for similarities comes in handy, because three of my answers end in S, which is helpful. Two of my answers start out with H. So that would make me get rid of these two. And I'm sure it's a difference between hyper and hydra. I just need to know my prefixes or root word that's going to go with this. And yes, it is D. So even when you're not doing a CPT code, don't forget to look for similarities in the answers, because that can help you. It's usually, yep, for infection, yep, but also just looking for similarities. These both start with H and they both end in the letter S. That draws my attention. Usually AAPC is big on picking words that are close but different, and we'll try to trick you that way. All right, let's do this one. the suffix. I know repair a lot of times is plasty, right? We do plastic repair, plasty. So I always think of that. Not much helpful here, but you're correct. And then it is D. We can find that on page, it's way at the front, XX. So let's see, where's XX? Where's XX? XX, yes. Way over here at our anatomical review, our oraphy, whatever, ORRH. PHY. Condition surgical procedures. Over here. There we go. It is over here. Don't forget you've got these little cheat sheets in the front of your CPT book where you can run and find these answers during your exam. Super helpful if you're having a brain malfunction. You know the answer, but you can't because you're a deer in headlights during the middle of your exam. All right, let's look at these codes. Which two are we keeping? Which two are we throwing away? Can we do that? I think we can. Somebody on Discord. I don't know who was talking. Okay, 735. 735. Yeah, I like C and D too. 735. 35, 22, and 23. What's our one-word differences? Heck, that's easy. This one's 5, and this one is 3 to 4, right? Should be fairly easy if I'm in the right section. So they're going to make us count. They're not going to give us a number. We did hip. We did AP and lateral of each hip times 2. So how many views? And an AP view of the pelvis. Ooh. There you go. So this one we had to go through, and you have to do like your own math here. So don't forget anything. We've got AP and lateral of each hip, so that adds another tick to both of those, and then an AP view of here. So if you count your ticks, 1, 2, 3, 4, we've got 5, right? Perfect. So just know that you may have to add, and they're not going to tell you a number, but you got to not forget anything. Be sure and look for all the APs, all the laterals. Be sure you know what your bilateral means you're doing and what each means. How many hips you've got. That's all important. All important. There are 5 views there that were ordered. Does that make sense, Tot? Thank you for the share. This one, Lord, how many views, how many levels of care are there for critical care services? Do you know? Do you know how you would find the answer? You missed that one? I'm sorry, Todd. Well, I'd rather you miss it with me than miss it on the exam. So if you see it on the exam, you'll know it now. You'll know how to add that one. Let me know if you need to see that question again. Anybody know how many levels of critical care services? Somebody saying 4? With AAPC, when I have no clue, I usually take away the smallest number and then the largest number. And then it's a difference between these two. And you just have to go with your gut. Ugh, just did the blood pressure again. Lord, gotta get that bottom number lower. Lower, lower, lower. I don't want a beta blocker. Everybody's saying A. Let's go to your HCPCS book, page 637, if it's right. Although I couldn't find one the other day. It's still driving me nuts. I couldn't find it. But, ooh, it's here. So if you have the 2022 AAPC version of the HCPCS only, will you find the answer on page 637? You have some guideline rules about critical care services, and here it will tell you how many levels you have. Which is crazy. Crazy that your HCPCS book holds all this stuff, info. Come on. There we go. It is 2. 2 is your answer. So A is the correct answer, yes. So guidelines like these that are theory guideline, auditing questions, those kinds of things, I write in the front cover pages of my CPT book before I get to my E&M question. I'll just write the date, January 1st, 2007. How many levels of critical care services paid on, and I'll write 2. That way I don't have to go look in the HCPCS book and read all that massive guideline. I've done this question. I've got it. Oh, quit quit hopping around. So we can also write it at our favorite critical care code, our 91 code in the E&M section. We can write it there too. Critical care services be paid in. How many levels? Levels of critical care services. Paid equals 2 per 1-1-2007. So I just made that note, and I'll move it near the critical care codes in the E&M also. That way, if I get that random weird question, we'll have it. I know, right? So the back of the HCPCS book, I don't know if y'all have ever noticed, has Appendix I believe it's called, which is a list of unimaginable random hodgepodge of what did they call this? Yeah. What is that thing? OPPS rules, regulations. They have a lot of stuff back here. It's general correct coding policies, and it is random as all get out. It's like another set of guidelines for like ICD-10, you know, but this is for the CPT book. Why they don't have them in there in the CPT book, I don't know. But some of it starts out with the HCPCS stuff. But a lot of this is just procedures. There's even some stuff I was trying to find and I couldn't find it, where HIPAA laws are back here. The Appendix I is what I'm talking about. They do the publications, references for a lot of things. How, if you just look through this, it's kind of like the medicine section of the CPT book. How Medicare Part A or Part B are billed, how deductibles are met. You can go through here and see a lot of interesting things. How you do glaucoma screenings. Just dental services are back here. Furnishing footwear. It's just one thing after another. And they're not, there's no like listing here like, if I wanted foot care, what page do I go to? Well, you've got to go search through here to find your foot care. It would be nice if it had an index or something, but yeah. You won't have a lot of questions about something in this section. You might have one or two on your question, on your exam, that you could find the answers back here, but a lot of people just learn to know, you know, what the answer is and write it somewhere else. But there's a lot of stuff back there. And this is a brand new question out of AAPC from 2022. And I just want to make y'all aware of it. I wish I knew why it was there and what the thinking of and how we find what we need back there. But a lot of billers will know about this. Their certificate of waivers, clotting factors, even there's immunizations, there's flat rate fees, there's a lot of stuff back here. Just a lot of interesting publications. There's even a section on modifiers back here. Where was that? Power of attorneys. Just a lot of different. There's some more modifiers on 669 that talk more in depth and give you examples of how to use them, which can be helpful, like the PM modifier or home health care. If you see a patient, after 9 p.m. at night, you can add certain modifiers, and they'll give you some examples of stuff back there on how you can bill stuff. But it's fun. One more thing, but like I said, you won't have very much on this. This is going to be one of your guideline questions that won't weigh heavy, because we're not going to have 6 questions in this one section of the book. You just might end up with 1. So as I find them, I'll share them with you and make sure that y'all know where the answers are. Yeah, I know, Sanchez. I have no idea what's going on with my blood pressure. I got to start worrying about that, I guess. I'm trying not to worry, but I've got to fix it, because I don't want to stroke out on you guys, and then I just disappear. And then y'all have nowhere of knowing what happened to me. So, I got to get that blood pressure under control for sure. So, no more pizzas. Got to eat my leafy greens and keep doing my juices with Miss Edwards. And in fact, I got one right here right now with my gallon of water. So it looks like mud right now, but it's good. It's fruits and vegetables. Even got some mint in it, but yeah, I gotta get that blood pressure under control for sure. Probably, I'm at 52 years old, so as hormones decrease, I needed those to keep the blood pressure under control maybe or something. So yeah, who knows what all it is, but I'll figure it out. Yes, stop salt. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, 160 over 100 is not good. I don't want to be there. Yeah, cholesterol is fine. All that stuff is good. It's just the blood pressure. I will, Peachy. Thank you. I will. I'm working on it. All right. Breast cancer. Ooh, I got some J codes. So let's look at these for similarities. I love all the 9-3s, right? So I would probably eliminate the 9-4. So it's either the 55 to 1-1 or the 71 to the 1-1. I don't know. We're in the J93. So let's keep looking in that HCPCS book real quick, and let's see if we can't find a chemotherapy drug. Some of these get really confusing because you don't have the same name as what the question says, but then you got a generic name in the book, and it can be quite confusing. The cancer drugs are always at the end of the J section. So if you're ever given an option between like a J40 311, that's not going to be cancer. Cancer's always back here at the J9s, just so you know during your questions. J93, 311. Did MK make it in the chat? Let's see when she wants to do this. Tutoring. So 311, 355. is on the next page. Good Lord. And then the 371. None of it's going to have that H word, is it? Y'all say it's 5-5. Herceptin. Herceptin. How would somebody know that 355 is Herceptin? There it is, the drug name. It's under, not the code descriptor, but 3 sentences down, sorta. It's in the blue. Yep. Without that blue thing, we would be lost. Lost for sure. So we're on page 306 of the 2022 CPT book, and it is B. Very good, guys. This one's cool. Arthropathy is disease that affects which part of the body? Cartilage, muscles, bones, or joints? I got a vote for muscles. I got a vote for joints. The interesting thing is, do we bill or code procedures on joints? Thank you, Twinkle. We generally don't. We go to the bones. We bill the bone affected, the patella bone in the knee, you know, the ulna or whatever in the elbow. We generally don't do that. When we move over to ICD-11, we'll have more of a broader range of codes that we can use for joint issues. But yes, this is a joint disease. If you don't know that, or you haven't added that to your Skeletor picture today, be sure and do that. I was watching the AAPC Facebook group page today, and they had so many people participating in the share how you update your book, or how you highlight your book. AAPC asked people. So I copied some of the pictures and brought them over. This was like somebody had done a breast wheel or hemorrhoid wheel where they did the 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock thing. These are some of the notes people were making and sharing today. If you haven't had a chance, go to the AAPC Facebook group page today. They were sharing tons of their pages today. They had these knitting needle protectors that they were putting on the bottom of their books instead of gluing and hog tying their books together like we do. They were using needle stoppers, and I thought that was the cutest idea somebody shared today. Other people were showing off their highlights. They did more highlights. They're 2 of 3, 3 of 3 that I've been telling y'all to do. This is from the BAT people. This was their modifier information. It gets kind of confusing with those arrows. I mean, it would be just better just to write what does that mean instead of all the abbreviations, but it's still there. How they highlighted some stuff. And then they got into these charts they were making. And this is all on AAPC's website today. They were asking for your notations. What do you draw in your books? And it's should eliminate anybody saying anything about, oh, you can't write in your books. Well, look at this mess they were sharing on AAPC today. They were definitely sharing some writing in their books today. And look, our Skeletor made it in here with his 2 colors. And even our little fracture I put down there. They had some extra ones. I like the Baker's cyst on the back of the knee. I don't have that one in there. But they had the pelvic girdle and the distal and the neck, all the stuff that I've told y'all to put on your notes. Even the types of fractures and stuff was super helpful. And that ought to get all that out of the way of people saying, oh, you can't write in your book. And a lot of things that people were sharing had what in it? Whiteout. So if you make a mistake on your own writing, you can use the whiteout, but only on your own writing. Don't white out the typed print, of course, but I just thought it was a great day today for the AAPC website that they shared that kind of information. Oh, look, there's me and Tom Cruise, by the way, in case y'all have ever questioned. Me and Tom. We got to meet each other one time. We had a good time. Anyway, there is just a ton of information. People be writing tons of stuff in their books, just tons of graphs. Look at the time that took to make whatever this is about heart catheters and fill in all those blanks about what it does. Oof. They are really creative on some of the things that they do, but they're doing a lot of stuff and writing a lot of notes in their books. So yeah, I was happy to see all of that today, because that ought to get rid of all that stuff people come around and say, oh, you can't write in your books. Well, yeah, you can write in your books. You absolutely can. Absolutely. So anyway, I thought that was fun. If y'all haven't had a chance, go see what they're doing in there today, because it was crazy. I mean, the time involved in writing some of those charts was insane. But if it's helpful, then wonderful. I still think one-word clear differences between the codes will help out more than anything, because you've got to get to the code. I mean, that chart, whatever this is, are you going to remember to go wherever this page is and go find the codes that are on the answers during the middle of the exam and then do whatever all this is? I think it's helpful just to write what you need to write right beside the codes. Have your do nots marked, have your out of sequences fixed, know what your one word is. This is antromaxillary, and then our other one is frontal sinus, or one of them is spectro with a removal, and one of them is ethode, and one of them is splendode. Just those differences, and grabbing that and looking through the answers will be super helpful. I'm trying to get just as little of notes as possible. I know my notes get crazy sometimes, but it's just little as note as possible to be as efficient as possible during your exam is my point of view. Yes, Mr. Travis. What do you want, baby? You want to play the magnet game after this? What did I do with my magnet games? Oh, and I got a new game. We could do the Mimi one after this.
What's a Mimi?
It's a game where you take all the internet memes, and it's kind of like Kids Against Maturity or whatever, but you take these memes and you get one card that says, when you lose something and someone says, where did you lose it? And you put the meme, the funniest meme out there for it. We can play that after I get done with this, okay? I heard that game is hilarious, so I had to get it. Which AAPC Facebook site? Let me see. I'll show you. So, ooh, phone, you were just there. Okay, so I'm on Facebook. Good Lord. All right, Facebook. AAPC. So just go to AAPC. It's AAPC. That's it on Facebook. It's our group. We got 46,000 members. And it's today, free AAPC. So AAPC posted today a contest. This one right here that I entered, and it says free AAPC giveaway. And what they want you to do, they're saying make notes, highlights, tab your books. Don't tab your books, it's a waste of time, but can make a huge difference in finding information quickly. We want to know, what's your tips and tricks to increase your efficiency and accuracy during the exam? You must like this post, comment, include a fit photo for extra bonus points, and you'll win this, whatever this is. It's a zipper hoodie and all that stuff. I'll give all that away if I do win. But so people were posting all day today copies of their notes that they were posting, and maybe some of this can be helpful. All you do is click on the picture, click up here, and then you hit save to your phone, and you can save anybody's pictures they're posting openly over the internet. Don't post any of my notes, but you know, make your own notes and post them. But yeah, any of this stuff y'all can post. And also when you're in their group, just make sure it's your stuff, not my watermark stuff, you know, if that makes sense. Make sure it's your notes. Anyway, but you can go to photos, and then you can see all the photos that everybody's posted today to enter in that contest. And they're all there. The one that I did, oh, somebody did the Lazy Susan too. But yeah, all the ones that I did. This is my post that I did today. I let them know that to do the components on the vaccines, so that if you get that one question where counseling was provided, you have to bill for every component ordered. And if I get enough likes and stuff, then I could possibly win, and I'll share all that stuff with you guys. But that's my post about what I do with my books. But tons of people posted all kinds of pictures. Some of them of just their cats highlighting their books for them. But it's a cool contest. But I love seeing all the different stuff they have posted. See, look at all that whiteout they used. So all those wives' tales I love to see go away because they're stressful. People coming in and saying, oh, you can't write in your books. What? Yeah, you can. Absolutely. But yeah, some people go way involved in doing a lot of stuff, which is cool. And then some of the stuff I recognize, of course. And that is fine. As long as it's not the watermark stuff, that's fine. But y'all go post and see if y'all can win the contest too. Super helpful. Plus, check out what they have written. Check out what advice they've given you and told. And even some of these comments, if you look at their comments, there's extra pictures inside some of their comments too. So you can find extra stuff in the comments. This one has 15 comments. Well, it's probably got another picture in there if you open up all the comments. And I hate how Facebook hides a lot of the comments now. You have to make sure you switch the comments to all comments from other, and then you can look at some of the other stuff. But some of the wording and stuff in here, you can find extra information that they didn't give to in some of their comments that are super helpful too. Anyway, I thought it was great. They're actually like doing something that will be very beneficial for a lot of people, and getting rid of that wives' tale. Thank you, Twinkle. I couldn't do this without you. This can be for CCS and CPC. I have a Discord group with an entire room of CCS practice exam questions. including CCA. I even have rooms for COC, CIC, CPMA, lots of different certificates. I can help with any kind of AAPC certificate you want. I have courses in CIC, CPB, COC, and CPC under my belt, and some other ones. The auditor one and the book one, the medical records one too, that they gave away last year. I did that course too. All right, let's see what other questions I got for tonight. Let's see. Oh, anesthesia. All right, let's go to this one. We got 2 that are 30. And the only difference between that one is whether we're adding the qualifying circumstance code. That code means that we've got a really old patient that's over 70, or we got one that's super young, like younger than 1 year old, because if you've got a patient who's super old or super young, you got to worry about their anesthesia a lot more. So all I would do with this question is find out the age of my patient, which is going to be in the top part of my question. Looky there, over 70. So I would pick D and move on to my next question. What would you guys do? Would y'all bother looking up the codes and verifying the age is not in that CPT code descriptor and then pick the answer? D is the correct answer, and you can go to page 77 and 79 if you want to find the answer. But that's the only word that I would have read in that whole entire scenario. I wouldn't have bothered with anything else. That's how you save time and get through that exam easily. Here's another anesthesia one. So I like the 90 and the 94 because they're closest, right? So I'd run to those. 00790. See what my difference is first before I look at my question. Go read what the CPT codes are. 7790 is upper abdomen laparoscopic, and our 94 is a removal, octomy. What are we doing? We're doing a Whipple. Which one is Whipple? If you don't have Whipple beside your CPT code for the anesthesia procedure, be sure and get Whipple written down beside the correct answer. Be sure and get that down. And yes, B is your correct answer. So if you don't have Whipple down beside the 94, be sure and get that one down. It's in that. You see how I'm always saying you need to highlight what's in the parentheses? The parentheses will help so much. They're using those terms in their CPC exam questions. All there is to it. Yeah. I think we're pretty much done, aren't we, Twinkle? That was probably our last one. That's my last one I had made up for tonight. So, pretty much did all of them tonight. There's my Whipple and a few other notes I had on this page. That's why that highlighting what's in the parentheses is so helpful. Yep, it is time. I thank y'all so much for joining in, and I missed y'all so terribly while I was on vacation. I've worried myself to death into some hypertension over it, I guess. I am going to have to calm it down and not worry so much. But I will be back on Wednesday night to do another 2-hour live. I have some tutoring to do. Tutoring is open too, by the way, if you want to schedule something at medicalcodingbyjen.com. Don't forget every little link for everything that I do, and it's all free too, especially except for the tutoring and then page-by-page notes. But all the guidance, the groups, the chats, websites, I have so much, the free YouTube videos, everything else is just all free. If you go to my TikTok and you click, oh, I got rid of the linky in bio, didn't I? Oh, yeah. They won't let me join the Creator Fund if I had the link in bio. I had to get rid of that. So, dang it, I forgot about that. Okay. So, to find everything, you're just going to have to go to the medicalcodingbyjen.com, and we're going to have to go to my social media links, and you don't even have to sign up to find that. All the social links are right here. There's the Facebook group, the TikToks, the YouTube, which is all free, and this is our Discord group right there. All you got to do is click on that, and it'll take you to the Discord chat. Just be sure and download the Discord app ahead of time, which is this little Mickey Mouse britches looking thing. Sign up, get you an account, and then you can join and be in all of our little rooms. We were working today in our CPC practice room where we had that questions and answers that we did at the very beginning today, where we gave definitions to all of these, and the real tricky ones were the admissions, because that could have been admit into observation, not just inpatient hospital. So that one was rough compared to the inpatient and the outpatient. Those were the confusing ones for everybody, but we did that together during this live. I will post this live on YouTube like all the other ones. I got to give TikTok about 20 minutes to finish rendering this, and then I'll post it onto YouTube so y'all can see it. But I'll be available. I know I've got a lot of people I got to get back to, a lot of messages, emails, messenger messages, website messages. I got messages everywhere, so I'll get to y'all as soon as I can. If you need immediate help, please post questions into Discord, into the main chat room. People are there to help out, and will get a hold of me if it's something urgent. This is our main chat room. You just click on this hashtag up here at the very top, because these are our specialty rooms. But that hashtag will always take you back to these rooms. If that sidebar ever disappears, all you have to do is click that little plus sign, because it gets rid of, sometimes it gets rid of the sidebar sometimes for some reason. It only shows you the ones you haven't seen yet. But if you click it again, it'll open them back up or something. It's weird. See, all the ones came back that I already saw. So anyway, but that's it. There is a video down here in the bottom under Discord tips. If you go into that room, scroll up to the top, this first video that Betty pushed in there for us will show you how to navigate Discord. And then you can go back up here, go to our main chat, and then chat all you want in here. And you can scroll up and see all the good info that we have already shared. And there's also that link of our Facebook AAPC group link, where I'm trying to win that contest for the free swag from AAPC that I'll pass out to you guys. But we'll do a workshop also on June 19th, a Sunday coming up. So I'll have a post and a link about that coming up pretty soon. It'll be a 3-hour workshop on E&M, And the only request I got was to do to do musculoskeletal and cardiology again. So if y'all are happy with those 3 sections, we'll do 3 hours on those sections. We'll do E&M, musculoskeletal, and cardiology, unless anybody else has a request. I hope this has been helpful, guys, and I will see y'all later. Thank you for all the shares. 5,000 likes. That's awesome. Thank you. Good luck, Princess. Yep, absolutely.